Superman does not have the greatest track record when it comes to video games, considering it includes what many believe to be the worst video game of all time seen on screen right here. In fact, the list of Superman games that are actually good is so limited, I would consider Lego Batman 2 to be the best Superman game ever made. We're really not working with much. So, out of desperation, or perhaps out of foolishness, we're going to take a look over at the App Store to see what third-party developers are putting out there, pretending they are legally authorized to publish a Superman game. I've done this once before for Wonder Woman, which came up yesterday, and I've done this twice for Batman now, so it's really only due time that the Man of Steel gets his moment to shine. And I gotta say, this selection of knockoff Superman games might have hit the jackpot. Our first foray into the mountains of madness is Superhero Crime Fighter Rescue. There's actually more to the title, but it sort of gets cut off there where I can't see anymore. This is a frequent occurrence with these bootleg games. Now, just looking at it, it's very clear that they want it to be Superman, but instead of making it obvious, they ripped off the costume for Superboy instead. So they're very sneaky like that. My first attempt at playing was interrupted by the presence of several ads, all of which were facing the wrong direction, which actually completely froze up the game as I tried to play it, forcing me to switch over to airplane mode so that the ads could not load in any longer. This is always a promising start to a game. Take two, and fortunately ad-free, I am able to jump into the first of 6 levels. To my utter bewilderment, I discover that the movement stick has been placed over on the right side of the screen instead of on the left where, literally every other game places it. On the left side is where you go up and down when you're flying, but to fly you have a separate button over on the right as well. To add insult to injury, the first level consists entirely of flying through circles around the city, because we all know how well that worked out previously for Superman. Level 2 just has you destroying these strange floating cubes that are all over the place, and that's it, they don't actually do anything. Closer inspection to see what exactly I was shooting with my laser beams, and oh look, it's just Minecraft dirt. Just floating there, in the sky. Cool. Level 3 has you flying around destroying supposed drones around the city. And not only are these ripping off Star Wars, but the developer forgot to remove development text from it showing the phrase alien idol, meaning that there is an alien life form sitting peacefully inside here, doing absolutely no harm and attacking nothing. As we all know, Superman hates nothing more than a space alien who shows up peacefully on Earth. The next level actually sees the aliens firing at you, which at this point clearly constitutes self-defense, but more often than not when you shoot them, they actually just fly away from you. This guy retreated so successfully that I had no choice but to reset the level because I had no physically possible way to cover the distance in between us as fast as he was fleeing. Having finally seen enough bloodshed, the United States Air Force actually sends jets after me for the next 2 levels in a desperate attempt to stop any more of this wanton violence. Predictably, it does not end well for the United States Air Force. Congratulations! I am now wanted for domestic and intergalactic war crimes! Guys, I'll be real with you. I don't think Superhero Crime Fighter Rescue truly understands what it means to be Superman. I guess we need to look towards something else. Maybe something like Super Flying Man Simulator will have a better idea. Well, that's just lazy. I would like to take a moment and point out that these graphics were set to high in the main menu screen. I have no idea what the hell is happening here. No clue at all. Why is everything falling over? Set the graphics to low since that seemed rather unstable. Oh, cool. That actually made it worse. Now the city's just collapsing before I can even get to it. You really let me down here, Yidget. I don't think you deserve those 2.7 stars you wear like a badge of honor. I admit I very nearly overlooked this following game, primarily because there was no indication at first glance that there would be anything remotely Superman related. Girl with superpowers something obviously looks like it's supposed to be about some sort of cartoon devil seductress. Fortunately for your viewing pleasure, and unfortunately for my mental state though, I did decide to go back a few minutes later and take a closer look, wherein I realized that the screenshot was clearly ripping off Supergirl, making it a close enough type of situation for this video. While I have certainly seen a lot of very strange and very poorly programmed things in my journey across these rip-off games, Girl with Superpowers Ka something is undoubtedly the most baffling and incomprehensible one I have come across yet. That is pretty much how every round of this freaking game goes. I legitimately don't know which character I'm supposed to be controlling. I don't know how the controls work. I don't know why there's a witch cackling in the background as enemies run at you. I definitely don't know why it picked the song it picked. Right when I was about to call it quits on this strange game, something changed and disturbed me to no end. In the middle of this chase, Supergirl violently murders the weird turtle guy. What the actual fuck is wrong with you, Supergirl? The worst part is, once she did it the first time, she apparently developed a taste for murder, and so she kept doing it again and again with great frequency. I can't anymore, you guys. If only some gloriously oblivious game would come along right before me to show me just how great a terrible game can be and its terribleness. What are you? Superhero Flying Simulator 3D is the exact right kind of bad game. Right off the bat, this Superman wannabe starts off by picking a gun. Not only that, the developers couldn't even get the name of a shotgun correct. I'm a shotgun. The top corner of the screen tells you you have cash, but if you try to buy a gun with that cash, it tells you that no, you don't have enough cash, even though you clearly have enough cash. This is the kind of stupidity I've been seeking in my life. The dialogue boxes are practically useless with how broken the English is, but there's just something endearing when you see a game telling you to buy bullets from dead people. Destroy the traffic vehicles by using particle effects. Now you are ready to play the game. The way this dude uses his powers are just absolutely fabulous. I mean, look at these sick moves he's got going for him. It took me a minute to realize that to fly up above the ground you actually have to move the camera around, which is actually pretty good as far as the flight controls go. Once you get flying properly, it's actually a blast, not going to lie. The game's only concern really seems to be for you to run up and talk to people who are going to send you on a different quest. It doesn't actually care if you complete them, and it calls everyone a caller, even though they're clearly speaking to you in person and not on the phone. Me, okay. I decided I would actually give a shot at, destroying vehicles with my particle effects, and fortunately I found this vehicle stuck against a light post. Unfortunately for me, it's kind of hard to aim some of the powers, and so it took a few different attempts. Nailed it! Following this, I remembered that this Superman carries a gun, and fortunately for me, there was another vehicle just stuck on another light post. Turns out the gun controls are, fiddly, to say the least. This random woman teaches me how to mug people, out of the kindness of her heart, I'm assuming. Unfortunately though, I am a novice at this, and this man's evasive skills are clearly beyond anything I can muster. Also, as he walks by, I think I figure out what the M on my chest stands for. Oh no. Out of bullets, I am forced to resort to using my amazing powers to try and mug him, and much like the car, it turns out this is a far more complicated process than I was anticipating. Fatality. After that, it just left the simple task of picking up the man's cash, which would certainly not be any... So would certainly not... Come on. Come on. Yeah. Despite the amazing power of flight, curbs are shockingly difficult to overcome. But I am, eventually, able to get myself there to talk to this next person. Piecing together their admittedly sort of garbled message, I realize that I can buy bullets in the store. Which I take a little bit too literally, to be honest. And the next guy I meet is actually just really friendly and doesn't really have a task for me. It's kind of nice being appreciated like this. Sadly, I pushed the game a little too far when I decide to test and see if it has swimming, and after a brief ad break, I realize that I have failed. But you know, at the end of the day, it was all worth it. Man really went through some character development. He talked to some strangers. He murdered a guy in a mugging gone wrong. And he drowned. Truly, a life worth living. With that, we come to an end today to the Superman rip-off games. If I were to look back at all three of the heroes I've covered here, and figure out who wins, I would definitely have to say not me. I definitely did not win anything by completing these games. If you enjoyed the content, a like and a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Please check out some of the other stuff I have here on the channel. And most importantly of all, stay safe out there, guys.